Welcome back to Tendencies. I am your host, Jay Suave.
Now I'm Jay Reese.
And it's been a crazy week in the sports world, as it has been. And we have some stuff to talk about, and we're going to get right into it. We're in the weekly recap. And Jerry's, I kind of want you to take us through here. What would you think about start of the games this week? Let's start off with the Texans and the Ravens.
Before we start the playoff games, go ahead and get into some NBA news because as of tonight, as of time of recording, Joel Embiid just dropped 70 points, 18 rebounds,
I
5
did
assists
just see
on the
that.
Spurs. Like, bro went insane. I got home from school. I went to go sit down. I looked at the TV. I look at my phone. It's saying Embiid scored 70. I'm like, whoa. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was good. And before the game, it was Greg Popovich literally saying, "We're gonna hammer his ass."
Yeah. They hammered him,
That
right?
did not work
They
at
hammered him,
all.
right? Yeah. But
Safe
yeah,
to say it didn't work at
MVP,
all.
MVP, probably gonna be MVP again this year.
Tatum,
And huh,
Tatum,
bro, like, get out of here with
Tatum,
this. Nah,
bro.
Embiid,
It's not my fault that the Celtics are gonna win the championship, bro.
you're not winning the championship. Embiid's gonna win
Who
MVP,
is,
but all that matters is look, gonna win MVP. Let's be real. But all that matters is can he show up in the playoffs? Because we know he can do good in the regular season, but we need to see what he can do in the playoffs this year. And if he plays like this throughout the playoffs, then it's gonna be crazy. I think that the 76ers will have a really good chance at winning the chip. But right now, I'd probably say my favorites are the Clippers.
what,
I'm really liking the Clippers right now. I'm not gonna lie.
bro? He tripping.
How am
Celtics
I
all the way,
tripping?
baby.
Bruh,
20,
get out.
20 and one at home. We're to beat the Mavs tonight, bro. It's over for the league. The way we looking, bro. If we had Ime Udoka on the team, we'd be running. We'd be running stuff.
Just like he
Come on
was
now.
running around on Nia Long. But next, other thing, the Heat on a 3-game losing streak.
That is crazy. Y'all suck.
We just lost to the Magic.
Bro, last year there was a point. I think the Celtics got swept by the Magic last year. And it was so bad because like they weren't even that good this year.
Mhm.
And the Celtics actually bro, I don't know what it was with them. But hey, bro, I mean, y'all are about to get another L next week too. I mean, later this week whenever the Celtics play
Yeah,
y'all.
probably. I'm not gonna lie, probably.
Shoo!
But our team just hasn't been looking good throughout the game. You know, we've been having slow starts. Kyle Lowry just got benched, and they're talking about him putting him in a trade package for Terry Rozier from Charlotte. So we'll see what happens. That'd be another score. We do need help scoring the ball, so I wouldn't be mad. But the thing is, Kyle Lowry does good when it's time for the playoffs and everything, and then he'll have spurts throughout the regular season. So yeah, yeah,
It won't be enough, bro. I'm telling you right now.
yeah, probably. And before we get into the playoff news, go ahead talk about some of the hirings and firings that happened over the past week. Brian Callahan today, on my way home, he is all set to be hired by the Titans to be their head coach. So that's a pretty good call from the Titans. You know, he's a really good OC. A lot of Peyton Manning had a lot of great things to say about him. He did a really good job over there in Cincinnati, and he should help Will Levis develop as a quarterback. So I think that's a good signing, a hiring by the Tennessee Titans. What do you think?
I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm just glad that the Panthers beat the allegations. I did not want Brian Callahan on this team. I think he kind of got saved from the fact that Burrow was there. I
hmm
know he got injured, and I know that what's the backup's name again?
Jake Browning.
Yeah, I know Jake Browning didn't do too bad behind him as an OC, but at the same time, Jake Browning's still a good quarterback. Like trying to develop these guys. Hopefully, him trying to go there and develop Will Levis works because Will Levis is a dog. But at least I didn't want him at least coming to Carolina and try to develop Bryce Young. I didn't think it would work out.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you. Talking about Carolina and the Panthers, Dan Morgan has been hired today to be your new GM. And I know when I told you
Mhm.
that news earlier today, you were not feeling it at all. You were pretty upset. But let us know about it. Let us know what was going through your mind when that happened and what your opinions are on this.
I mean, for me, it was basically just like he's been with the organization since 2001. He used to play for us, and for me, this is Tepper's easiest hire for a GM. You feel me?
Hmm.
And I feel like this is Tepper just wanting another yes man running around. And Tepper should be gone too, especially after the incident with the drink and the fan. You feel me? So like just having stuff like that, Tepper has another guy to push around since he's already in the building. He's not gonna bring an outside guy into where he'll bring his actually own ideals and not try to like what's it called? How do I say it? Like combat you. You feel me?
I feel you, dog.
And even though Dan Morgan is like, hopefully it goes well, because I mean, whenever hell I can say, whenever we got a new GM, it was one of the years where we got a new GM and then went to the Super Bowl 2 years later. It was like in 2013. We got
Hmm.
one, but hopefully that's what can happen with Dan Morgan. But hopefully since he's been in the organization for this long, he knows what's best for it and doesn't just be a yes man to Tepper. But that's how I feel. I'm not too crazy for it. I feel like Tyler Bass yesterday whenever he missed the field goal, just sitting there like,
A
come
lot of
on now.
missed field goals throughout the weekend, man.
I know,
Last bit
bro.
of hiring, or I mean firing, I mean. Sean Desai, Matt Patricia, both fired. They're out of Philly. Thank God the world is healing. Brian Johnson reports today is likely not to return to the organization. A bunch of stuff had came out about what troubles between him and Jalen Hurts. So he's not coming back. And the world is healing, man. Philly will be back next year. You already know how we roll, Philly, Philly, baby. And hopefully we can get a good OC. We can get someone like Al Harris, the defensive back coach for the Cowboys, or Denard Wilson, who was our defensive back coach last year,
Denard.
who's the defensive back coach right now for the Baltimore Ravens. Hopefully we can get either of them to be our defensive coordinator. That'd be interesting. I saw something earlier about Ron Rivera. I know, like, too I'm not high on that at all, but I'm not like gonna say I'm the lowest on it. I feel like he would do better than Sean Desai and Matt Patricia, but it is we
I
shall
can't say the
see.
same.
We shall see what happens in the next couple weeks with who we hire and who else is getting fired from the staff. But
Yeah.
like you said, let's go ahead and get into the playoff games that happened this weekend. And you were asking me something before I had interrupted you earlier, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and say what you had to say.
But yeah, I mean, we had the Texans and the Ravens, and we knew that the Ravens would win this game, but did we think it would be by a blowout? And the final score was 34-10, no offensive touchdown. So without that punt return, it would have been 34-3. And we've kind of seen this trend with the Baltimore Ravens throughout the whole year. I'm pretty sure like 8 of their games they've played teams over 500 during the regular season, and they won all those games. So, and I know the Ravens are the team to beat. I just want your info on this game. How what did you see? How did it go for you?
Um, at halftime, I wasn't really sure what was happening because it was
Mhm.
10-10 going into half. So I was, and then that last drive, they had time for to go down and score a touchdown. The Ravens did, and I saw Lamar Jackson get sacked like 3 times in a row. So I'm over here thinking, oh, it's gonna be a real close game. It's gonna be a tough battle for the Ravens, and then I didn't really see the second half, but then I seen that they had came out. Lamar had scored 3 touchdowns in the second half because he had one in the first half.
Mhm.
I was like, Jesus, and Lamar is showing you he's not here to play. He said earlier this year, a couple weeks ago, I think he said this is the time for me to win that championship, and we're gonna see that because I think they're gonna win the championship. I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to jinx anything. But yeah, I think they look really good. Really do think they're the team to beat. And I'll talk about the Chiefs a little bit later. But yeah, I think they're the team to beat right now. Lamar's playing great football. The defense is playing great football. And then, they have a great head coach, so I don't see any flaws with this team right now.
Yeah, and one of the things I actually noticed with this game, especially coming out into the second half, you rarely saw it during the season, but Baltimore's pass rush was insane for the Texans, at least too insane. And I'm not talking about Baltimore's pass rush. I'm basically talking about CJ Stroud and his protection. So whenever that front seven was blitzing him almost every play, you saw CJ Stroud make some nice throws out of some of it, but you also saw him prematurely throw the ball away, scramble out the pocket, try to throw off no feet, and it was
Making
one of the
real
things.
rookie mistakes.
Yeah, it was one of the things that Mike McDonald really was locking in with his defense with. That's a guy you want to have on your team, Big Mike. But it was really just a lopsided game. I mean, coming out in the second half, even the Ravens were averaging so many yards per play. I think they outgained them by like 100 yards in the second half too. But I mean, hey, I mean, we gonna see next week is Lamar really about that.
Hmm.
And I do want to talk about this one. The 49ers and the Green Bay Packers season ended basically off a missed field goal by the rookie. What you think about this, Jay Reese? I see you
Man,
shaking your head.
screw the 49ers. They should have lost. That's like
I'm
point
on.
blank, simple. I can't. They won the game. Good for them. Like, can't take anything away from them. But they should have lost. Brock Purdy did not play great football that day. He had two dropped interceptions that was one of them would have went to the crib, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I don't think Brock Purdy played perfect at all. Definitely think people were boosting him after the game saying, "Look at what he did. Look at this." Christian
His
McCaffrey
last
scored
drive.
Christian McCaffrey scored the last two touchdowns for y'all. Why aren't y'all boosting Christian McCaffrey? Like Christian McCaffrey is the reason y'all won that game. Y'all saw the Christian McCaffrey touchdown to bring him up ahead early in the game. When he ran through the middle for 46 yards. Like, I just think that especially if they don't have Deebo Samuels, but he's likely to play. So I'm not saying they're not gonna have him because he's likely to play. But I don't think that Brock Purdy is going to succeed against, a real team. I just think that the Packers are just too young. You know what I'm saying? And Jordan Love, inexperienced. You saw what he did on the last drive. Yeah, two timeouts. Time. Yeah, he could waste time. And he threw a crossbody rolling to the right pick. To seal the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something you can't do, and that's something he'll learn with experience, a little bit more experience. This was his first year starting, get some actual PT in the as a starter. But he looked really good in this game. I'm not gonna lie, but except for those two interceptions. So should be interesting to see what happens next week against the Lions because I did expect the Lions to beat the Bucks, and then they did beat. I didn't expect them but 31 up on them. You feel me? I thought it was gonna be a little bit closer game, so I thought that was interesting. But it should be an interesting game during the conference championship week.
But yeah, from what I watched during that game, it if you're not really watching the box score, and you cannot tell me that Purdy outplayed Love, like because Green Bay was two drop picks away from a win. You feel me?
Hmm.
So if they don't drop those picks, and say Purdy has two picks, and I don't mean to put like ifs out there, but Love played better than him, and it was literally I don't want to say the defense's fault they lost because they had an opportunity to win,
Hmm.
but it was just that with that happening, you would have lost, and it's just unfortunate, bro. And Green Bay will definitely be back, especially with them exceeding expectations this year. The NFC is going to be a conference to where like we are going to see some games in the next few
Hmm.
years. You feel me? But I mean, Jordan Love is going to be back, bro. Baby A Rod, come on now. And I'm
They
excited
went
for him.
they went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love.
It's
Like,
40 years. Like, well, not 40 years exactly, but like Jordan Love is going to be there for a
mhm.
minute.
Yeah.
So I know we were just talking. I know you were just talking about the Lions and the Buccaneers, and before this, well, you didn't think this, but I honestly thought they would be playing Dallas in the second round this year. But Green Bay upset them, which had them play the Buccaneers. And I want to talk about Amon Ra because this man is literally the strongest receiver. Like for his body,
Hmm.
this man is probably the most balanced receiver in the league. And I think I talked about this at least like once whenever I did countdowns for the NFL season. I was talking about how balanced of a receiver he is. But being able to be the guy that you're connecting with on third down every
Hmm.
single time You won't get the ball for the first two plays like ever. Is bro, like Reynolds scoring the first two tutties. Like what? But then whenever it's crunch time, you know who you're giving the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be in Monroe. And you had Jared Goff. The city of Detroit loves this man. He went 30 of 43, 287 yards and two touchdowns. But this man has just at least exceeded my expectations this year. I know I didn't think he would get carried just because he has some young guys on his team, some rookies on his team. So, of course, he has to take initiative, but he's definitely exceeded expectations for me. How do you feel about this going into the next week, especially against the Niners?
Yeah, I thought the Lions played really well, and you saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson talk all that trash before the game, and he backed
Hmm.
it up with the interception at the very beginning of the game. Threw the ball back to Baker Mayfield to let him know that he's there. And then Baker Mayfield threw two interceptions, but Baker Mayfield didn't look bad at all that game. You know, I'm not saying he looked great or anything, but he didn't look bad. You know, he looked pretty okay playing that game. You know, he it was a pretty really good game between the two quarterbacks. Amon Ra, like you said, was an absolute dog. Um, what's it called? Jameer Gibbs. He had like I think I saw he had 9 carries for 91 yards. Then he had a bunch of he had 40 receiving yards. Like that dude, people were saying this was a dumb decision by the Lions, and I thought so too. I thought, why would you draft a running back in the first round when you have other needs that you should address? But they
They
really
knew they were finna get rid of Swift. That was crazy.
Mhm. But they really found a running back for the future, you know what I'm saying? And then like because he didn't get as many snaps as you would want, as you would think a first round would get during the year. But you see now during the playoffs, he's getting a lot more touches, and they're trying to get him more involved because when he has the ball in his hands, he's gonna make plays, right? So he's gonna be.
You see him stiff arm Antoine Winfield,
I don't think saw it.
bro. Oh my god! Like whenever he scored that touchdown in the fourth quarter,
Mhm.
and I even saw a picture. He was staring at one of the guys taking a picture of him as he was stiff arming him, and Antoine Winfield was just in the air. Like you gotta see the picture, bro. It was so funny, and I'm like, there's literally no way.
Yeah, bro. I think that if they're able to run the ball next week against the Niners, which I think they will be able to, because you saw Aaron Jones just go be the first 100 rusher against the Niners in however
Hmm.
many games. I think that the Lions have a really good chance at beating the Niners, especially with Sam Laporta. I didn't talk about Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta is like one of the best tight ends in the league already as a rookie. So just seeing him going forward will be incredible. And then I know
Most definitely.
you're sick with how the Bucks are looking with Baker Mayfield after you got traded for him last year, and he played like a
Yeah,
straight.
bro. I mean,
Then bro
can
started
he
playing practice squad D end.
can you really succeed with Ben McAdoo running your
Mhm.
offense? I don't think so. But I mean, just with that game, so proud of the Lions. We're gonna see how they fare their share with the 49ers next week. And I want to get into this last game, Chiefs and the Bills. And I tried to tell you, Jreese, I tried to say it. Mahomes and them are different animals going into them playoffs. And after that first game, whenever they beat the Dolphins by two scores, we knew like the story for the Bills, they had to be more, but I couldn't do it, bro. It ain't no Cinderella story over here. Mahomes gonna come in and run that. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I mean, I know you can absolutely blame Tyler Bass for the loss, but the Bills made other mistakes in this game too. Like you had Stephon Diggs drop that pass. I'll say this: Gabe Davis would have caught that. Gabe Davis would have caught that pass and probably took it to the crib because bro fell. And just oh my goodness. And James Cook dropping the touchdown in the beginning of the game too. They could have been up by two scores at the end of the game, but it's little things like that. So
Mhm.
what'd you think about it?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing you said. I watched the first half and the end of the game, but I definitely thought that the Bills should have won the game. They went into the halftime with the lead, and then Josh Allen didn't play bad football at all that whole game. Josh Allen's played pretty well. And then
Hmm.
you get those drops. James Cook, you get the drops from Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, who's one of the best receivers in the league, and he hasn't shown up in the last few games against the Chiefs. and bro only had 25 receiving yards. He had less than 25 receiving yards this game. So it's like they're gonna put a lot of the focus on Josh Allen because they're like, is Josh Allen good enough? Is Josh Allen good? But Stephon Diggs had to be better in that situation. He just wasn't. That's a pass that Stephon Diggs shouldn't be dropping. He is one of the best receivers in the league. He has to come
Hmm.
down with those, especially when you're not really being pressured and you have great position on the ball, and it goes right off your shoulder pads. It's just
Yeah.
unacceptable. And then Tyler Bass, it's unfortunate that he missed a kick. People are like, you get all this money to kick the ball. It's not as easy as you think. Kicking is hard, still, even if you're getting paid all this money, everybody misses kicks. Every team that lost this week missed a kick in the game, in a crucial situation. So it's like, you can't be really, you can be mad at Tyler Bass, but the game shouldn't have been decided by that. And on the last drive, Stephon Diggs was wide open on a drag route on like 3rd and 8, and then Josh Allen threw a bomb to Gabe Davis down the field, and
Yeah.
it just
There,
like that's something you don't need to do in that situation.
there was a play where it was 2nd and 9, and Josh Allen threw it. They went. I don't know if that was how their thing started, but it was 2nd and 9, and he ended up throwing two passes like 20 plus yards,
hmm
and both were drops. And it's like,
Like
bro,
Like I
he.
understand you're trying to win, you're trying to play hero ball, but think about the situational football where you need to get the ball and because Stephon Diggs had a bunch of room to get the first down on that one play I just described, and then some. He could have got way past first down because Stephon Diggs got the speed. He's great in open field, so it's just yes that Bills should have won, but they shot themselves in the foot, and then the Chiefs will capitalize on those situations most of the time, right? So
Mhm.
it was still a great game by the Bills. It's gonna be interesting to see what that team looks like next year. We'll talk about that a little bit in another episode. But yeah, congratulations, Chiefs. Still think they're gonna lose to the Ravens. I think Lamar is playing great football right now. The Ravens are playing great football right now. It's gonna be a little hard for the Chiefs, especially with that struggling receiving core that they do have.
Yeah, that's basically the recap we have on those games right there. And hopefully we'll see some better games next week. I know we're getting only 2 games next week, but hey, we got to
Crucial
get that out of the
games, important
crucial games.
games.
I mean, and with the year coming to a close, almost in about what 2 3 weeks, we're gonna see a lot of guys start to want to leave their teams. We're gonna see a lot of guys request trades. We're gonna see a lot of guys hit free agency. So who are the big stars we're going to see in payday? And I feel like there's going to be definitely some names in here. Some guys who got re-signed for a year this year that had a fantastic year. We have some crazy guys who basically got put on the map this year, like Justin Matabuke, the DT for the Baltimore Ravens, McKinney North legend, and I think he ended up having 13 sacks this year. So I mean, for me, he'll definitely get paid this year. But for you, Jerry's, who are some guys you think are going to be up there getting paid?
First guy, gotta say, Devontae Smith. Howie
Hmm.
Roseman, make him an Eagle for life. Okay? Sign him whatever he wants. Give him my soul if you need to. Just keep Devontae Smith in Philadelphia. Bro just broke the receiving yard record for a single game by an Eagles receiver with 148, beating out Jeremy Maclin, who had 146. He's had 3 great years. I think he just set a career record high for him for receiving yards this year.
Hmm.
And you see the play how bad his routes are. Not bad. I'm saying like his route tree is, right? Because his routes are really he's a great route runner. He has great hands for his size. He's only missed one game in his entire career as a and everybody said his size would be an issue in the NFL. He's proving to you that it's not. Devontae Smith, I freaking love you, man. I hope we sign you to however much you want. Because if he ever leaves Philadelphia, I don't know if I could handle that thing, man. Another star
Coming to
receiver.
Carolina.
Nah, nah. Hey,
Coming
you
to
know what?
Carolina.
You know what? Since we're talking about Carolina, I'm gonna talk about a receiver that could go to Carolina because he's in line for a payday, and he might not get one with the team he's at right now, and that is T. Higgins, right?
Hmm.
T. Higgins is a stud, but the thing is with him, you saw Jamar Chase talk about this earlier, that Jamar Chase is gonna get paid first and foremost, and Jamar Chase can get however much money he wants because he's one of the best receivers in the league. That's just how it is. That's just how it's gonna come down. So unfortunately, that's gonna mean T Higgins is gonna get a lot enough money that he might want, to stay because that's why he came back because he thought he was gonna get a lot more money. And he deserves the money. So T Higgins is a big name who will get who will get a lot of money. I'm not saying he'll get top receiver money, but he will get a lot of money. Maybe he'll deserve some like Christian Kirk type of money. You know what I'm saying? We thought Christian Kirk money was a little
Yeah.
overpay when he got signed, but I think that was a good sign. Like looking back at it now,
Yeah.
so looking out at teams like Carolina, maybe Tennessee, where his offensive coordinator is going, teams like that where they do need help at the receiver position, and he would bring a lot of help to those teams.
Please come to Carolina. Please.
I said,
I need a field stretching jump ball receiver, bro, on my team. I can't deal with these. I can't deal with these other guys, bro.
what do
I
you mean?
need
What
a
about
guy
Adam
six
Thielen, bro?
five. Is he a field stretching jump ball receiver?
Bro, yes, Adam Thielen is all you need for a receiver, all purpose.
You just keep feeding Adam Thielen. Triple,
Yeah,
bro. You could probably send Jonathan Mingo down the field. He drop a pass, wide
wide
open.
open.
Everybody's just on Adam Thielen. Jonathan Mingo just has no one on him. He might drop it.
Bro overruns the ball.
Bro, like he's so sick.
Bro gives up on the play.
He's got
Um,
to.
Derrick Henry's not gonna get probably as much money as he would have when he was a little bit younger because he is getting older in age. But he's still gonna get a bag from whatever team signs him because he's Derrick freaking Henry, man. He had back-to-back 2,000 yard rushing seasons, so it's not like he's a bum or anything. He's one of the best running backs in the league, so he's gonna get a lot of money. Hopefully, it's not from the Cowboys, but yeah, Derrick Henry's gonna get a lot of money. Saquon Barkley's in line for a big payday. If the Giants let him walk, they are idiots because Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs in the league, and he deserves his money. And he's the reason why that team's always competing. Because if it's not for Saquon Barkley, that team is always trash.
Yeah,
You
bro.
have, let me go ahead and talk about some quarterbacks. You got Tua. He's probably gonna get a bag. He's probably gonna get a lot more money than he deserves, but Tua's gonna get a bag from the Miami Dolphins. Trevor Lawrence can get a bag. I think he's also gonna get a lot more money than he deserves, but Trevor Lawrence can get a bag. Baker Mayfield's gonna get a bag. He won a playoff game for them, and they're gonna probably try to sign him to a long-term deal so they can build at other positions, having a solid quarterback at that position. Jordan Love, they talk about giving him top five quarterback money. Um, I think that'd be cool. Jordan Love, he did play really great, and he's played really great in his first year starting. So I definitely think that given more time to develop a little bit more, getting more game action, he'll be a lot better. And that's crazy to say. He just lost by how much 4 points to the San Francisco 49ers, the number one seed in the divisional round. So I definitely think that Jordan Love's gonna earn his money and he deserves that top five paycheck right now.
Yeah, bro. And I want to talk about my trench guys real quick, bro. You got Josh Allen on the Jacksonville Jaguars. He for how bad this team ended up playing down the stretch. I want to say that he backed up a strong 2022 season with the even better 2023 season. He got career highs in quarterback pressures and sacks. He had 90 quarterback pressures and 19 sacks on the year. And he's been better every year he's been in the league. Because I'm pretty sure whenever he was a rookie, he had 10 and a half, 11 sacks. And just him being able to always win his pass rush. I always stutter with that. But it's just stuff like that, bro. He's gonna get paid, especially if they want to keep him in Jacksonville, because I'll take him in Carolina. You feel me?
I feel you. I
And then
feel
you
you.
also got guys. I don't know where he's gonna go if he leaves, but I also have Brian Burns, and
If he
honestly,
leaves. If he leaves.
we could pay him.
But will y'all though?
I don't know, because like even he said like
Mhm.
the Panthers have other stuff they have to worry about, but I mean, it really just depends on what's best for him. I mean, he's had some games where he's had 0 sacks this year, and it's just infuriating, bro. Because it's like I get that you're here, and we got you so early in the draft, and we want you to be great. But it's like whenever You're getting dogged by the backup. It's like, bro, ain't nobody really cares. He doesn't get dogged by a backup, but like he at least I would think he would at least get like at least a sack a game. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
And then one guy I feel like would definitely get a payday this year, who's been one of the best corners in the league this year, L'Jarius Sneed.
Oh yeah.
And he's basically over his first few seasons, he's lined up as slot, but now he's like really getting like him at everything he does. He can line up on the outside, inside. It really don't matter, and he showed it throughout the whole year. And he's very hard corner to get by. I'll say that. So I got that. You got any other guys that you want to talk about?
No, we talked about pretty much everybody.
All right. Going in with that, we're gonna go ahead and get into our AFC and NFC championship picks. We have the Chiefs and the Ravens. We have the 49ers versus the Lions. I want you to turn me up. Who you got?
For both games?
Yeah.
All right, first game, Kansas City, Baltimore. I want Baltimore. I want Lamar. Put it on for my city. Big trust.
I
You already
put
know how we
on for my
rolling.
city, on for
Ravens
my
fly.
city. I put
Let's
on for
go.
my city,
Let's
on.
go.
Bro,
I've
they,
been a
they gotta put
Baltimore
us in
Ravens
the
fan
hype
my whole
video, bro.
life.
They gotta put us in the hype video. How will you respond?
Lamar. They said you're a running back. They said you can't throw the ball downfield. They said make him stay in the pocket. How will you respond, Lamar? How will you respond? Someone make that an edit. Someone make an edit right now.
Lamar.
But yeah, I
They
have a lot of.
said they said that you're running back. They said you don't deserve this. They said you can't beat Kermit the Frog. They said you can't make it past the second round. How will you respond, eight?
Big trust. Yee yee. But yeah, I definitely think I just think that Baltimore is gonna I think their roster's just better overall. You know, they do like Patrick Mahomes can only do so much. And the way that the Baltimore Ravens roster is constructed right now, they can beat you in the air right now. They can beat you on the ground. Their defense is gonna come attack you. So I just think Baltimore is gonna be a little bit too much to handle for Kansas City, you know.
Mhm.
San Francisco, Detroit. I think San Francisco's gonna take the cake. Detroit, I really hope y'all do win, but I saw the script. I know what's gonna happen. Um, Baltimore is playing San Francisco, and we're gonna hear so much about Brock Purdy going to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be so frustrating and annoying. It's gonna make me wanna just turn off all socials. But I'm ready for it. You know, San Francisco is a good team. They have a really great defense. They have great weapons all around the ball. So even if Brock Purdy's playing bad, you know, Christian McCaffrey's probably gonna take the game over again, and then I hope Brock Purdy, you know, not take as much heat as he should. So
Yeah.
that's who I have. I have Baltimore, San Francisco winning their games.
For me, I'm gonna start off with the Ravens and the Chiefs. Gonna play this game at M&T Bank Stadium, and for me, bro, the NFL don't want Lamar to win, and that's exactly what we're gonna see at M&T Bank Stadium. I think the Chiefs go in there and win that game. Not that I want the Chiefs to go in there and win that game. I need Lamar. I need Lamar to put on for my team. Bro, I need him to do this for my community.
I don't think I can handle Kansas City Super Bowl right now.
Bro, I don't think I can either. But the way that we've basically counted out Kansas City the whole year, whenever Mahomes gets into the playoffs, he's a different animal. And there's such a well coached team, and you've seen that throughout the playoffs. Because you think, okay, like he's playing some good teams. They didn't look too good in this aspect of the game in the regular season, and they completely changed that around in the postseason. And we were just talking about L'Jarius Sneed. You're gonna see him try to guard Zay Flowers this week, and I feel like that's gonna be a matchup to where it's gonna be a good matchup. But how's that gonna affect how what Lamar does with the ball? Are they gonna run the ball a lot? The Chiefs have a good run defense. They have a good defensive line. Nick Bolton right there in the middle. Hopefully, it's a good game. I think it's a close game. I'm gonna go ahead with the Chiefs. And then for the second game, I got the Lions and the 49ers. I think the 49ers go win this game. And it's really just because I feel like Lions are just such a young team. I think still a young team, and I know that they're in the NFC Championship this year. But this is literally the point where the 49ers want to be in this position. They didn't want to play anybody else but the Lions in this position. You feel me? So for them, they're like, okay, the Ravens beat these guys 38-6 in like week 8. So why can't we do the same thing? And they're gonna get ready for him. Frank Ragnow might not play. He got beat up so bad this week. So they're definitely gonna try to do some real stunts on the defense this week. 49ers have done some really good stunts this year, especially in the postseason. They would get a lot of people with that, especially if Frank Ragnow doesn't play. I can see that definitely happening. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with the San Francisco 49ers. And that's about all we have for the episode. If you tuned in last week, I want to say thank you. If you're tuned in, if you stayed for the whole episode, I want to say thank you too. So hopefully, I know me and Jreese have combated with our predictions over the last 2 weeks, and it's gonna happen again. I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna be like, "Bro, I told you so," or he's gonna text me,
I'm
be
gonna
like,
text you.
"Bro, I hate you."
I'm gonna say I'm gonna told you so. I'm gonna
Exactly. And then you might just text me, "You hate me" for no reason.
be
But
right.
yeah, that's about all we have. Thank y'all for tuning in, Jreese. You got something to say?
Yeah, man. Nelson Aguilar finna be put on for Philadelphia. For Baltimore Ravens flock. Nelson Aguilar game against Kansas City. Nelson Aguilar 200 receiving yards, 5 tutties, 6 on the ground too. Um,
Please,
um,
Lamar, prove me wrong, Lamar.
San Francisco, watch out. Philadelphia Eagles legend Zach Ertz is on Detroit now, and he's gonna go over there and have
Bro,
800 yards, 12
that's
tutties in the air.
generational ring chasing. Oh my god.
Don't worry about it, bro. Bro, look, but he's Philadelphia. He's a Philly Eagle at heart. You know what I'm saying? He could have went to San Fran, got an easier chip, but you know what he said? He said, "Screw San Fran. I seen
Bro
what
went to
you."
the biggest underdog.
Hey, that's Zach Ertz. You gotta love him, bro. But
Yeah.
we really appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all on Friday if y'all tune in, and if you're not gonna tune in on Friday, we'll see y'all next week for more sports.
All right, we'll see ya.
I'll see you guys.